You know, I got a bone to pick with these hackers. They just won't quit. This time, hotel franchises, including the Hilton, Marriott Sheraton, and the Westin, were targets of a cyber attack, compromising credit and debit card information for thousands of guests who stayed at these hotels last year. Cybersecurity expert at Berkeley Varitronics CEO Scott Schober joins us from Metuchen, New Jersey, with more details. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on, Julian.
Good to talk to you once again. Look, Scott, this is getting ridiculous here. We talked about Target, Neiman Marcus, and now we're getting targeted at hotels. You can't even get a good bed someplace right now with your family to have a good night's sleep without cyber people coming in. What do you make of all this? How did all this happen?
Well, this is, again, in the long lines of cyber attacks that have happened, starting with Target. And there's a lot more to come, unfortunately. It's slowly unfolding, and we're starting to hear about it. This particular attack with White Lodging, who's really a franchise management company, this happened actually back starting March 23rd in 2013 up to the end of 2013. And it was the same type of attack that happened to Neiman Marcus and to Target and to Michaels and all these other retail chains that are coming out with these revelations. So it's certainly very scary.
Well, Scott, I'm really not satisfied with what authorities are telling us. You watch your credit card, your debit card, you change your passwords, but that doesn't seem to be stopping these attackers.
No, not at all. In fact, they're so crafty. They're just finding newer ways to do this. They even go to the length of stealing the data at the point-of-sale terminal, and this special malware program, they've coined it Black POS for point-of-sale. Mm-hmm. That malware, that virus on the terminal there, actually then re-encrypts itself, so it can't be detected by any of the security programs that these retailers have in place. So they're going undetected for the most part. It's alarming.
Scott, we just saw recently lawmakers on Capitol Hill dragging Target to testify before them, and almost like putting them on the spot, but Target wasn't responsible for any of these attacks. What was the point of that?
Well, they're probably using them as the example because they're the big guy there. They're the number 2, number 3 retailer throughout the U.S. So if they react to this and they start implementing more security measures, if they move to chip and pin technology, which has been proven to be more secure in Europe and in Canada, then other retailers will soon follow suit. But something's got to be done, and it's got to be done right away because consumers are nervous. They're afraid to take out their credit card.
Absolutely. We're talking about, of course, Westin, Hilton, Marriott, Sheraton hotels have been targeted. What can these hotels do?
Well, obviously, they're going to be very diligently looking closely at the information of all their guests. Now, I should point out, it seems to be isolated to those customers last year that shopped in the gift shops and the restaurants. There's one possible transaction that happened at the actual desk where you sign in to get your hotel room, but that's not confirmed. So primarily gift shops and restaurants, if someone shopped there from that March time frame to the end of last year with their credit card, they should look very closely at their statement.
Scott, let's talk about the wave of technology. We're going off into the stratosphere, right now. It almost seems like the Twilight Zone for me with so many things coming. I mean, one thing is fashionable, and 6 months later, it's obsolete. And, it's like an 8-track, just being out of whack in about 6 to 8 months. My question is this. When we've talked about this before, Scott, okay, let's talk about, for instance, cars. We have these smart cars, but now you have cyber attacks against the cars. When does technology stop so security can catch up with technology?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And everybody's running into the same problem. They're racing to market to implement technology, and a lot of it's wireless technology. That's where we're experts at. We design tools to help with these wireless installs, but they're not testing it so they're solid from a security standpoint and get all the vulnerabilities out. They need to do that early on before they mass deploy this, or else there's major problems.
Well, look, I know people are concerned about too much government. I think I am to a certain extent, too. It seems to me it would be a good thing for government to take a look at some of these companies and make sure that they have the kind of technology that can be monitored before it goes out there on the market. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, that's a very good point. You hate to get government intervention. They're stepping into everything, and it does add layers of bureaucracy and problems and other things. But there's got to be some standards. To date, they've used the PCI compliance in the credit card industry with working with retailers and banks and things of that sort. And to some degree, revelations that have unfolded in these retailer sectors, they found that a lot of this, they were not compliant with the regular security audits and checks. They're not doing it on a monthly basis. They would do it when there was a problem. So they're reactive. They're not being proactive. Retailers need to step it up. They need to be more diligent to win back the consumers and resecure these networks and these transactions.
Well, I'll tell you what we need to do, Scott. My thing. Go back to the old-fashioned way and just use cash.
That's it. Carry around $1,000 in your pocket. You're a lot safer.
Absolutely. That whole wad of cash there. Scott Schober, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Julie.
You got it.